Hey guys, Dr. Kyle Lovelace here. Hey, I'm gonna teach you the top 5, or at least my top 5 things that you can do in the holiday season to not get sick and gain a bunch of weight. Every year people put on multiple different, or a lot of different weight through the holidays. It's because of simple things they can change. And they also call it the flu season for a reason. It's not because the flu just flew in this time of year. It's a lot of our lifestyle changes during this time of year. So I'm gonna teach you those. Hey, if you're enjoying this information, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Make sure to like this video, share it so more people can become their own health expert. And if you want our access to our inflammation ebook, teaches you how to reduce inflammation in your life and to tell if you are inflamed, go in the links below and you can get that as well. All right, so let's dive into how do you stay healthy in the holidays? How do you not get sick, the flu, or these colds all the time? How do you not gain weight during the holiday season? Well, it's actually very simple. We shift out of after Halloween, we get a bunch of candy, or your kids get a bunch of candy, and then you end up eating a lot of that candy. And then you kind of, from that point on, it's Thanksgiving and it's Christmas. In your workplace, there's candy, there's junk food everywhere. We just kind of turn into this lazy mode, kind of lackadaisical mode. And it's great, it's fun. We love this time of year, it's amazing. But there's no doubt a lot of people get more sick this time of year, and we have less days of daylight, so that plays a role in this. And we also gain weight. So that's one of the major times of years that people gain weight, and what the studies have shown that most people never lose that weight. So it just adds up year after year. So how do you prevent this? So number one, the first thing I'm gonna say to do is, okay, so you have, let's take Halloween out of it, but let's say after Halloween, you have Thanksgiving, okay? So how many days is Thanksgiving? Just think to yourself, how many days is the day of Thanksgiving? That's one day. And how many meals do you need to really have for Thanksgiving Day? Like special, all drawn out, eat what you want and go crazy meals. One, right? And how many days is Christmas? It's one day. Now I know there's Christmas parties and there's Thanksgiving parties and there's Friendsgiving parties and all that stuff, but at the most, maybe you have an extra 2 or 3 days in there, right? And so what I'm gonna suggest is this, is make Thanksgiving, make Christmas one meal, or maybe 2 or 3 meals that you had with your friends if you had a couple parties you went to, instead of making the whole month something that we just kind of go crazy on, right? Thanksgiving meals, I remember we'd have Thanksgiving, you get your turkey, you get all your dressings, you get all your stuff, right? And then and then you have all these leftovers, and so that Thanksgiving meal was awesome, but then it's even better when you get turkey sandwiches and it's cold, and I love cold turkey, so all these things last, and it's like a week of just Thanksgiving dinners what ends up happening. So do yourself a favor, focus it in on one day, okay? So that's my first thing. Make Thanksgiving, make Christmas just one day. Make a decision up front. I'm gonna eat whatever I wanna eat. I mean, don't go crazy, obviously, but you're gonna eat your thing. Hey, the one thing we do, myself and Dr. Holly and our kids do every year that we don't do any other time of the year, is I eat a gluten-filled apple pie. It's amazing. Now it's all raw ingredients and stuff. It's not something I bought from Walmart or something. It's Dr. Holly's grandmother and our kid's great-grandmother, Grandma Gigi, she's still here. She was an amazing cook, and she had amazing recipes, and her apple pie, her pie crust is just delicious. And so we're gonna eat that once a year at least, right? So that's our minimum. We do that if we go to Wisconsin, we do that in Thanksgiving, or if we go there in Christmas, we do it Christmas time. You see what I'm saying? So plan that out, yeah, I'm gonna eat this, but then I'll do some things to help my body not crash because of eating that, because it's not used to gluten. So that's number one, make it just one day. Number two is gonna be, look at what you're eating on Thanksgiving and on Christmas. So at our office, every year we have an annual Thanksgiving party. This year we're gonna do it on November 15th. If you wanna come, if you're watching this, you got to bring food, but if you want to come, let us know. We'll get you scheduled for it. But it's really cool. So what we actually do is we get everybody. We send out recipes. Where we give our patients recipes, natural, healthy, good healthy recipes that are Thanksgiving oriented. Just the good old stuff. Your sweet potatoes, your turkeys, all that good stuff, stuffings. But we make it healthy, right? And then they take those, they cook them, they bring them. We have a big potluck. It's amazing. And you have all this healthy food. So now I know you're with your family on Thanksgiving and you can't control all the food that's being made, but maybe you bring some healthy dishes for your family to eat, or maybe you try to talk your family into saying, hey, why don't we make it healthy this year? I got great recipes, let's try them out. So that's another tip, is just trying to make the food you're eating not so bad. Like if you look at some of these things that we do for Thanksgiving, I mean, they're canned, they're like chemical filled. We're just making them, old school. There's so many good things we can do. And I'll tell you, if you come to our house for Thanksgiving or you came to our house for Christmas, it is amazing. No question about it. I've never had anybody not look at that and say, oh, that's not very good. There's natural, healthy ways to make desserts. I mean, it's amazing. So you can do that. So think about how you want to do Thanksgiving. Let's do it natural this year. Let's do it healthier this year than normal. Maybe you should get a free range turkey, an organic turkey instead of, the butterball that's all inflammatory and causes you to be sick. Everybody thinks it's because they eat turkey that they get sleepy. Yeah, there's some things in turkey that make you tired. But no, it's the massive amount of inflammatory food you're eating that makes you have to unbutton your pants and lay down afterwards. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3, a thing I'm gonna say is give your body some support. So there's no question about it. This time of year can be very stressful, right? You got presents to buy. Hey, the economy's different. Presents are more expensive this year. Maybe your job's been a little bit rough, whatever it is, but you still have kids and they have, and you want to make them happy. There's just so many things. Maybe you're gonna be around family members and that's stressful. So here's what you do to help with that stress, and something you can take to help with the stress is take an adaptogen. There's adaptogenic herbs. There's things like CBD oil. These natural things that actually help your adrenals and help your body handle stress. Okay? Now they're not a cure-all. They don't, make everything perfect, but they make it to where your adrenals don't get so beat up during that time of year, so you don't have so much stress. And the response to stress in our body is cortisol, and that cortisol, if it's constant, it builds up, and it's one of the main reasons people gain weight. It also increases insulin levels and causes people to gain weight. But it also lowers your immune response, which guess what? When your immune response is lower, the flu is always there, these viruses and stuff are always there, you become more susceptible to it. So looking at how can I support my body in stress? Maybe you load up on your CBD oil for the month or the 2 months. Maybe you load up on some ashwagandha, which is a great herb for adaptogens. Maybe you load up on some cordyceps or some different mushroom herbs like reishi and chaga that help your body handle stress. So there's so many of them. Rhodiola is another good one. So there's so many good herbs and adaptogens out there. Personally, my favorite, CBD oil, number 1, and number 2 is rhodiola, cordyceps, and ashwagandha. We have a supplement called Revel, REVVL, I think it's called, but it has all 3 of those in there. I use that, and I use my CBD oil off and on, and it's awesome. So check those out. Now, exercise, that's my next one. So number 4 is get out and move. Study after study proves that your body is gonna get out of that, are gonna burn sugar when you exercise, right? Your insulin levels are gonna be better when you exercise, which means you're gonna have less likelihood of gaining weight. So maybe you don't listen to anything else I just said, but every day you make sure that you work out. You do a high intensity, short duration type of exercise. You lift weights, which helps your overall metabolism in general. Hey, the stronger your muscles are, the more muscles you have, the actual higher metabolism is, which helps you burn fat as well. So just having muscle increases your metabolism. So you have your exercise, and obviously know your exercise, know what's good for you, but make sure you're doing something, moving every single day. I think because it's cold outside, less daylight hours, we kind of become more sedentary this time of year. So what an easy way to counteract weight gain and counteract immune system deficiency by getting outside and just going for a walk, going for a run, going for some sprints, doing some push-ups. Pick yours out in advance. Don't just say, I'm gonna try to exercise every day. So no, I'm gonna exercise every day. My minimum is gonna be, I'm gonna do 50 push-ups, 100 jumping jacks, whatever it is for you, but plan out and say at a minimum, I'm at least gonna do this. All right, so exercise. The final one that I'm gonna hit on is sleep. This is big. The one thing we can control, or most of us can control, I know some people have a real trouble just falling asleep. If that's you, we gotta figure out why. No more sleep meds. Figure out what's actually causing you to stay awake. And it's usually your body's stuck in this fight or flight stress mode, and you gotta figure out, you gotta do some testing to find out why. But let's just say you have no problem sleeping, you just don't go to sleep because you're busy, right? So we have a lot going on this time of year. The best thing you can do is go to bed before 10. Go to bed before 10, get yourself 8 hours of sleep, and there is no better remedy for stress. There's no better remedy for healing in the body, or from immune deficiencies, like getting sick all the time. There's no better way to keep your cortisol levels in check and keep you from gaining weight than getting enough sleep. There's nothing else I could tell you that's gonna beat sleep. Sleep is so crucial. So those are the 5 things. So you got 5 things right there that you can do actually on this next 2 months that you can do to prevent weight gain and keep yourself and your kids from getting sick. All right, you guys have an awesome day. We'll talk to you next time.